This top-selling SUV was just redesigned for 2026, and I'm gonna show you everything. Tom here with Go Auto, and today in the Go Garage, we have the 2026 redesigned Toyota RAV4. Now, this vehicle is a statement for a reason. Not only is it the ultimate do-everything machine for a family with a busy schedule, but the exterior design is spectacular. But up first, and even more so, is this interior. So let's hop inside and show you what it really has to offer. Because the first thing you notice is the amazing layout that this vehicle has to offer, most notably in design. You have a floating infotainment and digital driver's display in front of you, but we're gonna get to technology in a second. The first thing I wanna talk about is actually usability of a family SUV. You always wanna make sure you have the perfect place for your wet wipes, your Kleenex, and obviously your phone. And this RAV4 thought about that. Right up here is a little grippy texture with a lip, so that way anything that gets stored in there isn't gonna be flying out onto the passenger's lap. And for wireless chargers, you got one right here in the middle that's easy to access and place a phone in. There is a second slot right here, which can also be optioned in as a second wireless charger, which means you and your partner aren't gonna be arguing about who gets access to the wireless charger. You both do, and I love that. If you don't have the second wireless charger, you are going to appreciate the two 45-watt USB-C ports on either side, meaning you all get fast charging in this vehicle for the front cabin. Genius. Underneath the wireless charger is where you have an extra storage cubby here, and it's even grippier and more rubberized, so that way anything in there is not going to be flying around. Now, you do also have two cup holders here, but the RAV4 has something pretty genius with it. The middle can actually be taken out, so that way you get a little extra storage right here, should you not be wanting coffee in the morning. If you're like me though, you're always stopping to get coffee in the morning, so I'd keep that there. For ample storage, you also got a really large center console. You can open this up to get deep storage here with a 12-volt and USB-C port, but I can also open it to my side as well. And the best part, you can actually remove it, flip it, and place it back in, and now you have a section perfect for placing things like fries or cheeseburgers on a road trip, probably chicken nuggets to share with the kids in the back and the parents up front. One thing to note with it though, is that there is a sign here that has a fast-moving RAV4 with a do not sign sticker on top of a soda can, as well as like a burger bag you would get from McDonald's. I personally find that quite funny because I don't know what else I would use this for except for on road trips with family and friends. Put the fries and the McNuggets here and everyone's got access to it. But let me know in the comments what you use this for. One thing you're gonna love about this vehicle too is gonna be these seats, because not only are they very comfortable and the headrests are nice and soft, but they're also beautifully designed. For starters, you got really nice blue piping and stitching accents, and also this soft text trim inserts that have this nice velvety feeling to them, but are also really easy to clean, which is amazing. The seats come heated and ventilated, which is all controlled in your climate controls, which we'll get to shortly. Now, one thing that all RAV4s have is a traditional gear selector, which I love. You just grab it, pull it down into drive, over to manual for your upshifts and downshifts, should you want to have a little more of a spirited drive with the vehicle. And should that be the case, you're going to also appreciate the drive mode selections on this vehicle. For starters, you got your plain old EV mode, nothing crazy there, but above that's where you can adjust from normal, eco, sport, or even custom, where you can change the vehicle's characteristics to whatever you want. That's something usually only sports cars and luxury cars offer, but it's here in the RAV4. On the other side is where you have your actual characteristics of the conditions of the road. So you have normal, trail, even snow mode, which we're definitely gonna love and use here in Alberta. To go alongside these, the buttons not only have a really premium machined metal finish to them that just feels more upscale than other vehicles out there, but when you push each drive mode, it also goes onto the driver's display itself and gives you a really cool sporty animation, just letting you know, hey, we're in this drive mode now. I love that. The next big thing is going to have to be your massive infotainment system. Now, for starters, it's so easy to use. Your home screen has custom widgets where you can change and customize it to your liking. You got navigation, media, and your settings all on display on the left side for shortcuts. And the vehicle also has wireless CarPlay and Android Auto for easy access to change anything you want with the phone's native system. I also really appreciate that it takes up the full 13 inches of the infotainment system, rather than some vehicles just being a half screen, or if that. With this screen as well, one thing to note is that your climate controls are built into it, but it's kind of an easy-ish process in my opinion. For example, you can just push up the arrow to bring up your full climate control menu. You can change the direction of airflow, also the fan speed up and down, but it all feels kind of like a two-step process. To prove that, to turn on your cooled seats, you got to push here, and then you can turn on your ventilated seats. Really nice to have them, but I wish it was just a quick, easy access button in my opinion. If you do, however, want to change the temperature or the defrost front and rear, you'll be happy to know that your buttons are all button operated right down here, which is amazing to have in the vehicle. The next amazing thing is going to be this digital driver's display. Now, for starters, it's so easy to customize with the steering wheel buttons on the left. You go from 2 dials to 1, a minimal look, even an EV data display screen for people that really want to learn more about it. You can also go for a full driver assistance screen, which would be amazing on long highway drives. Or if it's your week to carpool, you're going to appreciate the full map display, which actually uses Google's map system. So that way it's so easy to keep up to date and find out where you're going to drop off someone's kid. You can also bring it back right to the 2-dial display, and you can actually change the information inside the dials just by going up and down. So you can change it from drive distribution, EV information, or just your plain old trip or compass, basically. I love that. It's so easy to use, and a lot of vehicles overcomplicate it nowadays. Here, just a click of a button. Now, the back seats of the RAV4 are pretty spacious. For starters, you got really good headroom with this trim not having the panoramic roof, and you also got really great knee room and foot room back here. One thing to note though in terms of space is that these seats don't really support my thighs all that well, but they do make up for it with having these backrests able to recline. It is just a little bit, but it's still really nice to have. The middle also drops down to give you your armrests and a nice captain chair seating position. It's also pretty wide to help separate the kids when they're bickering at one another. Now, in the seats here, you also got child seat anchor points between the seat and the backrest themselves. They're a little difficult to get to, but once the seat's in, it's not going anywhere, so it's all good there. And in front of you, you also got 2 air vents as well as USB-C ports running 15 watts. So they're not fast charged like the plug-in hybrid offers, but still plenty enough boost so that way the iPads can be charged on long road trips. Now, the trunk space of the RAV4 is insane, not only in the depth, but in the height as well. I mean, you could easily fit several golf bags back here if you wanted to, plus room for other stuff. One thing I really appreciate though is the built-in cargo liner and also the liners on the backrest are all rubber, meaning if any dirty dogs from the lake get in here or soccer practice with the kids, the muddy cleats, you can take it all out, spray it down with a hose, and that way the carpet stays pristine. With this trunk as well, you're going to find a JBL subwoofer speaker on this side and a 12-volt on that side, meaning you're not only getting the concert vibes, but also a little bit of chargeability back here to keep it going. With closing this trunk, you got 2 buttons. One just closes the trunk, and the second one will close and lock it, meaning you can grab all your gear, click the lock one, and be on your way. But I mean, if I was you owning this, I would definitely take a second look at this back end because it looks good. For starters, your daytime running lights here for the taillights are so unique with this really nice kind of piano key-like design to them. And I really appreciate that it's not a full LED light bar, just really helping it stay unique with the design language. RAV4 is also in chrome, just really giving it a nice design language with hybrid and XSE trims all blacked out with it, definitely carrying a nice 2-tone element to the vehicle. Down below here, 2 things I really appreciate. The first is this little extra plastic cladding added right here, so that way when you're loading and unloading things, your car's not gonna take a beating. Just this little piece is. Really helps keep the vehicle protected and obviously looking as good as it does. The second one's down here, this nice gray accent to the bumper really just gives an extra element to it, but the main bumper is actually in glossed black, which you can see throughout the vehicle, such as the wheel arches and the side skirts down below. And I really like this because it really helps give it a nice 2-tone balance, especially with the roof here being in black. It really gives it that sleeker and sportier look. And I think the body lines help with that too, because you had this one line going under the mirror, over the doors, and then it swoops down and comes back to the driver wheel. It really gives it that nice angular and textured look without being too aggressive, if that makes sense. And if you plan on actually loading up this vehicle for a really big road trip, you'll be happy to see that your gloss black roof rails are already up here, ready to go for any kind of cargo boxes or bikes you might be taking on the road trip. For gloss black accents, it carries into the mirrors and these 20-inch wheels as well. Really helps give the vehicle a sportier look while still being an approachable family SUV. And with that, you also get a ton of safety features thanks to Toyota's Safety Sense 4.0. That's gonna give you things like lane tracing assist, blind spot monitoring, even pedestrian detection. You also get a ton here in the front, like collision mitigation, adaptive cruise control, and so much more. But this is a redesigned vehicle, which means we need to talk about the design itself. And I think the biggest and most notable thing is the daytime running lights, specifically all three of them. For starters, you got a little ambient piece down here at the bottom, the middle section and upper. Now these two here are also your LED turn signals, which I think just give it a really nice touch. But they're actually separated with this color matched lip right here, as well as the main LED headlights for your low beams and high beams. I love that they have it in a nice small and compact space without losing any of its quality, of course. And the same kind of goes with the grille here. Now, this vehicle takes on the design cues of Toyota's luxury brand, and I think they nailed it here. For starters, the grille itself is color matched, but you get nice little gloss black accents tucked away and hidden inside the hexagonal openings. Now, those gloss blacks can also be seen down here at the bumper, the little connection piece holding in your headlights, and up top here with the Toyota badge. But with this vehicle, we also got to talk about the engine itself. So when you open the hood, you're going to see Toyota's 5th generation hybrid powertrain. This is paired to a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine that makes a total of 236 horsepower, which is plenty for a vehicle of this size. But if you plan on doing a lot of highway driving or actually want to utilize EV driving, I recommend the plug-in hybrid, because not only is that going to give you 68 EV kilometers, but also totaled in with the gas mileage, you're going to get close to 1,000 kilometers in full range, gas and hybrid paired together. That is incredible for any SUV driving. The 2026 Toyota RAV4 is the benchmark of an SUV. It's safe, practical, and quite honestly, its looks are spectacular. So to learn more about it or explore all the new trims for 2026, visit goauto.ca or any of our Toyota dealerships.